Hi. Um, for anyone who watches this, yeah, which is not a lot of people. Um, I haven't made a video in a while because I, well, I recently found Tumblr and it's addicting, really, really addicting if you're into like art and stuff. So that's what I've been doing with my time, and I'm officially considering myself the official boycotter of studying. Not that not everyone in the world does that, but yeah, all my friends are like, I gotta study, this, that, and I'm like, nope, not picking up a book, not doing anything. If I learned it by now, I learned it. If I didn't, I didn't. So, no. I mean, I'm not in danger of failing any of my classes. If I was, then I'd be studying, but somehow I get by. Speaking of getting by, there's this movie coming out June 17th, I've heard. It could be wrong. Called The Art of Getting By. And I am ultimately, completely, and utterly dying to see it. Cause like Freddie Highmore, I love him. Oh my gosh, I don't care if he used to be gay. I love him. Um, and Emma Roberts is cool. I get some of my I don't know, style and makeup ideas from her. Cause I have small eyes, and she's kind of small eyes. Blah blah blah. Anyway, but the movie basically is about like a kid in high school, and he just gets by, and he meets this girl, and you know, it's kind of predictable and typical, but I feel like there'll be some twists in it, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see. Like, I always wonder what it's like for people who live in the city as children or kids or teens even, what it's like for them to grow up, and I think this movie will show that because it's going to show like basically these kids in New York growing up, and I guess you could say they have to grow up fast because of where they are. Um, what else? Yeah, but I want to see that. If you don't know who Freddie Highmore is, look him up. Or he's been in a lot of my favorite movies. Finding Neverland, August Rush. He's been in some BBC programs, which are always really good. And I think the first movie he was in was like Women Talking Dirty or something. And yeah, like it's funny because people are like, "Wow, I didn't know he was 19," and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, he's our age. Like movies are made when once they're filmed, it takes like at least a year for them to be actually put out. So he's like 19, he's my age, so it's not illegal for me to be in love with him. Um, and yeah, um, that movie looks really good, and I've titled my Tumblr "The Art of Getting By" because that's basically what I do. I just get by in life. Yeah, and what else? My life has been pretty much completely boring to the point that I was sitting at lunch today with my friend, and I think I must have kept saying, "I'm so bored." And she goes, "Jesus, how are you bored within every 5 seconds? You keep saying it every 5 seconds." And I'm like, "Oh, sorry." And then I said, I guess I'm so bored, and I keep saying it because I have nothing else to think about but how bored I am. And I'm stuck here. Yeah. So, what have I been doing with my time? I've been bored. Basically Tumblr. I guess I'll post a link to that. I don't know. It's kind of, I don't want to say private, but it's like I like to remain more anonymous with it. But it's cool. And working with my family to find out where we're gonna vacation this year. It'll be interesting. We're gonna actually my family usually does vacations where we travel. Like we take 2 weeks and we drive all over some crazy place like Costa Rica or Alaska or England or London, France. Well, London's in England, yeah. But this year we're actually just gonna take a week and rent a place and stay in one place. Probably in upstate New York. It's pretty there. Pretty lakes and stuff. I'm an outdoors girl, so I'll enjoy that. Um, what else have I thought? So lately in life, I've made a self-discovery, or I don't know, a life discovery. whatever you want to call it. Basically, I've only been alive for 19 years. But in 19 years, you can learn something, and what I've learned is that expectations, expecting things, or like expecting things of people, the word expect is just a bad word, like completely. Because, number one, when you have expectations for something or how something is going to go, it will never go that way. It will, because you're expecting these things, it will never go the way you expect. Nothing ever goes the way you expect. So that's one thing. And then I've also learned that like having expectations on people, like expecting someone to do something, they'll never do it. So just don't expect people to do stuff, you know? Just no, that's the wrong word. Just assume that they're going to not do what you expect and stop expecting stuff. It's a hard thing to do because it's in human nature to expect things of people in the world, but from what I've learned, I don't think my expectations for life or anyone around me have ever been met in my life. And people having expectations on you is like usually a pretty bad thing because it makes you hurt. I mean, because as I said, people will never do what you expect. So when people expect things of you, you will never do what they expect, and you're letting people down. It lets them down. And yeah, his hair sticking up. So it's pretty much that word sucks. That's what I've learned. I guess I'll reflect on college. I've come to the end of my first year of college. I don't know. There's definitely some good things, but there's definitely some bad things. And it's funny, but I'm going to say this, but I'm not a big partier. I don't really drink or anything. I'm not against it. I just don't do it myself, especially because where I go to school, the cops are dicks here. It's really dangerous to go drink because you're really at risk of being an underage, and I can't afford to have that on my record. So I haven't really partied, and I wish I had, because, like, as I keep saying, I'm so bored and stuff, and people are out having these adventures and stuff, mostly drunk, and I'm like, if I had done that, maybe I would have had a bit more fun at college. But next year, I'll be off campus, and it will be much easier to go to parties and stuff, so I'm excited for that. What else? Schoolwork, definitely. First semester, I made Dean's List. Second semester, I'm barely passing 2 of my classes. So it's kind of like they ease you in and then they're like, "Wacha!" Like, you are not allowed to have an easy time anymore. And I'm like, thanks. Yeah. But somehow this semester I've done absolutely nothing and still managed to get by. So I'm like a master at the art of getting by. I think I've definitely made a lot of friends and become more outgoing. Like, I'll just go up to people and be like, hi, and stuff like that. When you go to college, you're going to make a lot of your friends in your classes and, like, around you, just because you're with them a lot and stuff. Like, my bio lab is where I made a lot of these, like, they're not the closest friends, but, like, they're close acquaintances, I guess you'd say. So, yeah. Oh, well, the royal wedding. I am not a really big advocate of the royal wedding. I didn't, like, watch it or anything, but, I went online the next day just to see what her dress was like, and it was gorgeous. Gorgeous. I love Princess Diana, but her Little Mermaid wedding gown, not my style. But Kate Middleton's dress was very classy, just so pretty. It was a great choice. Excuse me. And Will and Kate were really cute together. I think it's a good thing that, you know, they're marrying for love and not for royalty, or whatever the saying is. I don't know. What else? Yeah, but basically, oh, The Office. How could I forget? Basically, Michael has officially left the office. The episode aired Thursday night, and it was sad, because, he really, I think Will Ferrell's been on a few episodes, and sadly, I don't think he can really match up, because what Steve Carell did was, like, he would be such a douchebag and such a jerk and an idiot, but then he would have these little innocent moments and stuff, and these moments where he's like, I just want a family, and you'd realize, like, even though Michael was such a douchebag, you still loved him, and that's something that really has to be brought to that character, or else you're just gonna hate him. And I think that Steve Carell was a comical genius and did that really well, and him going, I don't know. I'm hoping that on the next episodes they do a little bit more cute, like, Jim and Pam stuff. I think it's kind of, like, bad that they're dragging the show on, even though Jim and Pam are together, because, like, that relationship was a big reason why a lot of people watched, and it definitely added another side to the whole thing. And now that they're just stagnant, sort of, and I think that they need to, bring back a little of the chemistry in there. What else? But Michael, you will be missed, or Steve, whatever. And I'm curious to see who will be the new boss. I saw that in the commercial they're like, Will Ferrell leaves and Dwight becomes boss for a little bit, but then Jim Carrey, Ricky Gervais, a bunch of other people are in the running to be the boss, apparently. So that'll be interesting. They definitely could be good people. I'm a really big fan of Ricky Gervais just because I'm almost an atheist, sort of, and he wrote this article, you can look it up, about why he believes in science and not religion, and I like it very much. It was very good writing. And he's a funny guy. What else? I can't think of anything else to talk about, but I'm going home soon. And what I'm really dreading about going home, is the fact that I have to work. Because my job is, like, it's not easy. It's on your feet a lot, which will get me back in shape, but I have to take classes over the summer too, and I'm not looking forward to that because who really wants to do schoolwork over the summer? Not me. I'm looking forward to seeing my puppy and my kitten and my parents, and I have a new baby cousin. He's gonna be like a half-month old when I get back. I don't do the whole weeks thing. I don't know how many weeks that is. And so I'll get to see him for the first time. He's tiny. And seeing my friends is definitely something I can't wait for. Like, with them, I'm safe enough and stuff that we can go drink and we can go run around the town all night and do crazy stuff. So I'm really excited for that. See my friends, I think, is the thing I'm most excited for. What else? What's hard to figure out is, like, well, for everyone it's hard to figure out, like, what you want to do in life, but it's hard when you're, like, into things that are in very different fields. Like, I'm really into writing and movies, and, like, I want to, like, eventually write books, but, like, I also sometimes think, like, it'd be so cool to write a screenplay. But then also sometimes, like, I think about that and I'm like, maybe I should be in the communications field and stuff, but I'm in the wildlife field. I love animals, and I would choose animals, well, wildlife, because we are animals. I would choose wildlife over people any day, just because they make more sense. And they're not wicked. I mean, some of them will be mean, but it's usually a matter of animal communication, which I understand, kind of. And so I'm in the wildlife field, but sometimes I'm like, how am I relating that to movies? I should just go be a movie critic or something, or just go sit in a room and write, but you have to make money, and I'm hoping that I can, like, become a place of influence enough that I can help to save animals. I'm a big advocate of that, so if you want to save animals, get on top of that. Because people don't realize how much of an effect it has on humanity itself. But yeah, part of I'm split in half. Part of me wants to go live in the wild and study cheetahs the rest of my life. And then the other part of me wants to go to Hollywood and write and party and meet people and walk around in the sunshine all the time. So, how do you combine those two? If you have the answer, tell me. I have no idea. It's kind of hard to figure out. My plan right now is just to get my wildlife degree and stuff, work with animals, and then eventually have time to sit down and write. And I don't know. I want to marry someone in movies so bad. Freddie Highmore? I would marry you in a second, man. Come on over. I don't know. Not necessarily just an actor, though. I like movie writers because, they're the real geniuses, I think, behind the story that you fall in love with when you see a movie. I'm in a film class, and basically what we've learned is the overall gist of film is if the story is engrossing enough and good enough, you will like the movie. That's the end of the story. Movies are supposed to take you out of reality, and the way that happens is you really get into the story, and if it's a good story, that'll happen, and it's a good movie. So, and the cinematography and everything has to do with it, but I think that's the overall point. So, I don't know. I have to figure that out somehow. I don't really know what else to talk about. The weather has been beautiful, except for today. But before this, I got really tan and stuff. I don't know, can't tell, but for me, I know that I got tan compared to my ghostly pale self. And I love the sun. I'm like a sunflower. I follow the sun. When I'm outside, if the sun's off me for 5 seconds, I get up and follow the sun. So, yeah. And people are like, how are you cold? It's 80 degrees out. I'm like, I'm in the shade. The sun's not on me. I'm cold. That's the way I am. So, being tiny too. I'm kind of thin and tiny, so it doesn't help either. My roommate has basically moved out. She has nothing here but her bedding for next week when she just comes to take her finals. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Sometimes I wish I had a suitemates and roommate who stayed here, because I could have maybe bonded with them more and did stuff with them more. But because they leave every single weekend, it's the most we do is talk during the week, and that's about it. What else? Yeah. So I guess I'll go now. If anyone who watches this has any, questions or shared love of something that they want to talk to me about, message me on YouTube. And, yeah. So, The Art of Getting By comes out June 17th, as far as I know. Could be a different time, but look up the trailer. It's going to be a great movie, and I'm really, really, really excited to see it. Yeah. So, have a nice time until I talk to you guys again. Bye!